Hello guys, how we doing? Welcome back to the Free Hammers. It's Luke and Paul, ready for a post-match reaction and a sort of mini check on all the news this week. That's just finished 1-1, mate. Listen, it was the best lineup we could have put out, and I think the first half we actually played really well. I would have took the point before the game as well. What was you make of it, mate? Before we get into the other stuff.
Yeah, I mean, lots of like you say, mate. Lineup came out well. Pleased with the lineup. That's probably our strongest 11. I think I would have probably played Ward-Prowse instead of Souček, but 6-1, half a dozen of the other, you know. But yeah, happy with the lineup. Like you say, first half, no complaints. Came to half time, yeah, no complaints at all. Think we were playing well. Like you say, mate. Yeah, I would have took a point before the game if you'd have offered it to me. But the way that the result ended up, not too happy. I think after Antonio came off, I think it was inevitable that they were going to score. I think we were just waiting.
So what about our first goal? Before we go on to what happened, our first goal was a really good goal, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a good goal, yeah.
Coufal played really well first half as well.
Yeah, good ball in from Coufal. Like you say, Coufal was up and down that wing, putting some good passes, good cross come in, and a good diving header from Antonio. He took it well. Yeah, really good goal. And, we took the lead. I think the lead was deserved. Like you said, I think we played really well first half. I do. But then the problems came in the second. We needed that second goal. Got the second goal, but VAR said no.
Unai Emery made the positive changes, didn't he? Diaby come on. Zaniolo, I never can pronounce his name. Zaniolo, he came on. Just fast, pacey players, and it sort of pinned us back. And I don't know, the second half we sort of reverted back a little bit, didn't we? Like you say, mate, when Antonio went off, we didn't have the outlet ball. Sort of killed any momentum going forward we had. It was a tough watch for about half an hour, to be honest.
Yeah, it was. It like you say, like I said, mate. After Antonio came off, I feel like we were just sitting back, and it was inevitable. You could see it was coming. You could see they were going to score. It was just a matter of time. I looked at the clock, and it was on 70 minutes. And I thought 70. There's still 20 minutes left. We were playing like we were playing in the last 10 minutes. That's what it felt like, and it was just waiting for them to score. And then they did score. The goal came, but yeah, that was what I was waiting for. Like you say, Emery made changes. He made positive changes to try and turn the game around, which worked. And then you're looking then at David Moyes saying, right, come on in, Dave. What are we going to do? How are we going to counter these? How are we going to counter these changes? What are we going to do? We didn't really do anything. But on the other side of things, we scored 3 goals today. And in my opinion, the 2 that were ruled out, maybe, technically correct by the laws of the game, but so harsh. So
What do you make the first one that was disallowed then?
His arm is there. His arm's here on his body. Yes, it is his arm.
Yeah, I think that one's
hitting him. His arm had no impact on where the ball was going to go. If his arm weren't there, it would have hit his chest and gone in. I thought that was so.
Yeah, I think that one's worse than the actual one at the end, to be honest. I think the Antonio one should have stood.
Yeah.
Where the second one, again, there was no clear angle for me. I know they said it hit his arm, but there's no clear angle that actually shows it hitting his arm.
I think it did. No, I think it pretty obviously did. I think it because his arm was in front of his body, and it came off of his forearm there by his elbow. But his arm was here. It was here. It was in his body. There was nowhere else for his arm to. If his arm was out here, it would have hit his chest and gone in. I think that was a really, really bad. I mean, like you say, technically maybe correct by the laws of the game, but come on, you don't want to see goals like that ruled out. That's ridiculous.
What do you make of the ref though today? I think a couple of cards could have gone out as well. I think he could have sent off Douglas Luiz. I think he was a little bit wobbly.
I mean, to be fair, in that he could have sent off Kudus as well. Ridiculous. Zaniolo didn't get booked for throwing the ball away. There were a couple of bits that were, but I mean, when the cards started coming out, he was starting to lose control of the game a bit, the ref, and it started getting a bit nasty. Stupid. Alvarez got himself booked stupidly for rushing in and getting involved, and now he's suspended for 2 games. We're going to miss him massively.
Yeah, he's so important to what we do, isn't he? What did you make of? We did have a couple of other good chances as well. Obviously, Ward-Prowse had the one right at the end as well. You know, a little bit of composure. You know, yeah, should have scored. And obviously, they did have their chances, mate. You know, Ariola had to pull off a few good ones from the dodgy crosses and stuff like that. I thought our set pieces were very good today, though, which they haven't been for a while. But yeah, how much do you blame on Moyes this? Do you think Moyes is a little bit unlucky there? You know,
I think the problem is, and it's like I said, you know, he got 100%. Give him credit when it's due. He got the starting lineup. He got right. Yeah, great attacking approach first half. I think we played really well first half. The problem was after Antonio came off. All right, if you want to bring Antonio off, fine, bring Antonio off. But when it wasn't working, and then Emery makes changes, and they're getting on top, you have to react. You have to react, and the reaction's not bringing on Aaron Cresswell. Do you know what I mean? Like you want to see it.
Again, this is all down to, you know, again, we're just recycling, but, you know, getting rid of Benrahma, getting rid of Fornals, and not having that attacking option as an outlet. Like you look on that bench, who's he bringing on? Like, I would have bought an Ings. You know, if you're taking off Antonio, you go. Not that they're like for like, but we see that Ings can sort of be a focal point. He can hold the ball up a bit.
Yeah,
I think Ben Johnson. You know,
that's every. Like I say, you got to half time. I had no complaints at all. Thought we were playing well. No complaints for David Moyes. No complaints at all at half time. But then, you know, I don't think the substitutions were great, like you said, Brian. And we just sat back, and you could see we just decided, right, we're going to just defend for the last half hour. The problem is when it weren't working, and it clearly weren't working. I think everybody knew, every single West Ham fan watching knew it was a matter of time before Villa equalised, which they eventually did. And he didn't do anything to change it. Like, we could all see it was coming. All of us, we could all see it was going to happen.
And when it did come, it wasn't like for God's sake, it was more of a, well, that's come.
It was inevitable. It was so obvious it was coming, and he didn't do anything to change it. But was he unlucky? He was, because we scored 3 goals, and I think at least, like you say, the Antonio one that was ruled out was really, really harsh, and the one right at the end. I mean, how you can look at that for 2 minutes? You can't call it clear and obvious. There's no way it's clear and obvious. Maybe it come off his arm, but you can't really see that from the footage. I think it was very, you know, pathetic Moyes bottle job. I'm not a Moyes fan whatsoever. I wouldn't go that far today. I wouldn't go that far today. I think we easily could have won that game 3-1. You know, we could have done.
Yeah, I think like this comment actually has just come up here. We laid down in the second half and would have been lucky if we would have won the game. Yeah, we would have been lucky, but I do agree with that, mate. But we've said it, haven't we? We went too negative in spells in the game, and that's what happens. I was happy up until that point. Like I say, I was really happy off the back of the Freiburg game as well. I thought, go on, we're really going to do this and be right up Man United. Yeah. You know, it would have been a point behind them today if we would have won today, which is unfortunate. It wasn't,
and let's remember as well. They're saying that Villa's not an easy game. It's not like that was an easy game. You know, they had a really, really good result on Thursday as well. So, you know, it's not like I expected to roll up and roll Aston Villa over.
This is a team that beat us 4-1, earlier in the season, and they've been, arguably one of the most informed strikers in the league, barring Haaland. You know, I think Watkins didn't really do anything, did he? I think we kept him fairly quiet, to be honest.
Really, yeah. Yeah, if anything, mate, I think the other guy who they ended up bringing off, I thought he was more dangerous.
Yeah, he was. So as a result, mate, how do you see that then? Would you have took that before the game?
Yes. I would. Yeah. If you'd have offered me a point before the game, I would have took that. I think I definitely, we approached the second half wrong. It's really difficult. We approached the second half wrong. We sat back and defended for half hour and tried to defend the lead, which never, ever, ever works. But we could have won that game 2-1, 3-1. So I don't know. It's a weird one.
Yeah, no, it is a weird one, mate.
I don't think we deserve to lose. Put it that way.
No. I think that's a fair point. Yeah, I think that's a fair point. The high press was working the first half. Why change it? It did. We was forcing mistakes. Every time we did press, like Antonio did that really well. To be fair to him, he was really, really good today. And that's just what we've got to do now to the end of the season. That is what I want to see. If we play like that, we've got a chance to beat most teams. I really do believe that.
I think again that just shows the difference in managers. We were pressing them, we were causing them problems. Then he brings on Matty Cash, and all of a sudden their fullbacks are pushing up the pitch and pushing us back, and we can't press like that. So they saw that, they made a change to counter it, and then we sat on our hands. David Moyes sat on his hands and went, "Oh well, I
And
guess
you
so.
could
I
see,
can't do
mate, that he
anything."
was coming down that right-hand side, as good a game as Sufo had today. He's got to deal with Matty Cash, who's one of the best right-backs in the league, and Diaby with his pace going at him as well. Like, it was always coming, and it did come down that right-hand side.
Yeah.
Like you say, mate, he didn't counter it, and that's inevitably what cost us all three today. Just going through some of these.
That's good. It's good to see that, actually. Yeah, the Freiburg. I forgot they were playing them today.
Yeah, we'll talk about that just before we wrap up. We're only going to go short, guys. It's not a full podcast. Was it the right decision? Like me and Paul said, if you missed it, I think the first one probably wasn't the Antonio one, but the second one, Socek, probably was right, but it took too long. Yeah. So, like I say, man, that leaves us, I think, 3 points behind Man United now. I don't think we will finish higher than 7th. I think that's the highest we're going to finish. But I still think that will be Conference League. Just this early, would you have took that at the beginning of the season? Conference League again.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Another season in Europe. I don't care if it's Conference League, Europa League, another season in Europe all day long, mate. All day long. Yeah, absolutely. Because, and people, especially pundits always say, and people, we want Moyes to go at the end of the season, but people are always like, oh, well, what is the next level? Where do you expect us to go? Well, the next level is consistent European qualification.
Yeah.
That is the next level now.
I was thinking it the other day, actually, in terms of Europa League, I think that realistically is the biggest trophy that West Ham could win. We're not going to win the league. We're not going to win Champions League. So realistically, like you say, mate, to get into that and maybe 1 year win that would be the biggest thing I think we could do. So, yeah, like you say, mate, I think consistently getting in there or getting in the Conference League so we can get back in there.
Yeah.
I think, like you say, mate, that is the next level. It's hard one, isn't it? It's hard one. 7th is best case.
I don't think
we'll get there. I actually said that myself just then.
I don't think we'll. It's weird because we'll probably go out of the Europa League in the next round. We'll probably go out, and then we'll be concentrating on the league more. So maybe, but yeah, I think I can't see us finishing 7th. I think around 10th is probably realistic.
Yeah,
but you never know.
Let's move on from today's game then, mate. Just a quick one on Europa League. Fantastic result in the week. Wonder goals all over the place. But then a little bit downhearted with the draw. No, there was 2 teams I didn't want, and that was Liverpool and Bayer Leverkusen.
Yeah.
It's going to be a tough old game.
I mean, it is. I think the chances of us winning the tournament are basically 0 anyway. At some point,
the fact that the second leg's at home, a little bit of a poke.
That is absolutely a positive because we've done that a few times. We've come back. Obviously, Freiburg, Sevilla, Lyon. So absolutely. The second leg being home draw is good for us. But I think the biggest issue is Liverpool. Liverpool are the biggest issue. At some point we have to play them.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And I think the chances of us beating Liverpool we've got more chance of beating them in the final than over 2 legs. Over 2 legs, forget about it.
Yeah, I think on a one-off game. And listen, I know we lost the game at 2006, but really we should have won that. That was, like I said, a one-off game. We can beat anyone, but. Yeah, I was a bit gutted. I'm a bit gutted for the away fans as well. Obviously, they've been to Germany, 3 times now? It'll be, wouldn't it? 2 to Freiburg, another one to Leverkusen. A couple of years ago, Frankfurt. I think, like you, mate, I think we all wanted that San Siro trip. Or
Still possible.
It is. It is. It definitely is more
Still
likely
possible.
than it was. Yeah. What do you make of that then? So if we did get through that, let's just hypothetically dream, Roma or AC Milan. What do you
Both
reckon?
very, very, very difficult games. I want AC Milan because I want to go to the San Siro and watch West Ham play there. But both very, very difficult games. But if we beat Leverkusen,
Oh, mate,
you've got to be looking at the final. If we beat Leverkusen, you've got to be looking at the final. You go. You go.
Yeah, no, 100%, mate. Just wanted to talk a couple of bits, mate. Just a little bit of news that come out today that apparently Real Madrid are now looking at Lucas Paquetá. Are you surprised at that, or do you still see him at Manchester City? Because City are now linked with Bruno Guimaraes. Obviously, his best mate.
I don't think. I don't see why Newcastle would do business with City.
He's got £100 million buyout clause.
Ah, right. So, okay. So
if 100 million slapped on the table.
Yeah. That's fair enough. They're different players, though. Bruno Guimaraes.
No, you watch them; they're very similar. I think Bruno's actually better. I'll be honest with you. I think Bruno's a better player.
I don't know.
Just slightly better player.
I don't know. I suppose it depends what City you're looking for. If they're looking for that.
Well, it's KDB's replacement, really, isn't it? That's what it is, yeah. Or that Gundogan replacement. That's who they're looking for. But I could see Paquetá in the Real Madrid midfield as well. I could see Bruno in Real Madrid's midfield. Starts becoming a bit of a cheat team. Bellingham, Mbappe there in the summer, Vinicius Junior. It comes a bit ridiculous again, doesn't it?
The Galacticos are back, yeah.
Just a couple more comments here. Liverpool 2-1 up now against Thingy. Everyone's speaking Liverpool will get to the finals. But
listen, I hope they don't, mate. Hopefully they go out in the next round. Hopefully Scamacca steps up for Atalanta and puts them out, mate. Yeah. Hopefully.
That would have been a good tie, wouldn't it? That would have been a good tie.
But let's be realistic. I think Liverpool are massive favourites for a reason. I think
they're going to win a quadruple. I think they potentially could go and win League, FA Cup. Obviously, they've won the Carabao. I think they could win all 4. I really do. Yeah. Just before we go, I just want to give a shout out to Art of Football, who sent me this lovely West Ham shirt. Sort of a bit of a friend of the show now. Hopefully they'll start sending us some more stuff. They did say if we give a shout out, they'll send us some stuff.
Oh, they've got some really good. Do you know what? I'm always on their website. So listen, I'll get me some t-shirts there.
Yeah, definitely. They've got some really, really nice stuff. Loads of West Ham stuff, Pallet Canio stuff. This is not them sponsoring us or anything like that. Just saying thank you for sending me a t-shirt. Anything else, mate? Who's your man of the match?
That's a good question, actually. I don't know if anyone really, really stood out.
I think Antonio had a really good game pressing. I think Soufal had an excellent first half.
Yeah, that's Antonio is a shout because he did have a really, really good first half. Soufal, like you say as well, with the assist. Yeah, one of those two probably, but I don't think anyone really massively stood out.
Yeah. Right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Like I say, short and sweet. Me and Paul will do a full podcast at some point soon. Until next time, 162 of you watching live, which is amazing numbers for us. Hit that like button before you leave. Really helps us out. Share with your friends. Until next time, come on, you irons. Keep believing. Let's go.
Cheers.